Hello everyone. Now just recently I asked my mom to guess how long I've been making vlogs for, and she was like, it's been a long time, maybe 2014. If you want to be technical, the first pre-blog was in 2015, my friends. But those don't count. As I mentioned before, I wanted to restart. It's like if you ask a famous musician, hey, what's the first instrument you've ever used? And they were like, my voice. I mean, technically it is true, but if we're talking professional musicians, no, they're gonna go with an actual man-made object. Took me a long time to get to where I am now at the end of 2024. The first true blog, and the date I want you guys to stick with, is 2019. We've made it to 164 episodes, and keep in mind, this is the 5th Zelda Flaws blog I have done. The 5th! And I did some calculations here, which I will put up on screen, but this here is every basic blog idea that has ever gotten a sequel or some sort of successor. There should be quite a few of them. Then we have the blogs that have gotten trilogies. Should be less than the last list, but hey, if an idea calls for it, it calls for it. And next, we have the small few that have made it to 4, which at this point we're really stretching it out here. That damn low IQ one shouldn't have been a thing. But now we're at 5 for the Zelda Flaws blog. Some people would say we don't need that many, and it is kind of a struggle to keep these notes going every time, but I still plan on staying true, at least somewhat, to the flaws of Wind Waker. But at this point, we're kind of just beating a dead horse here. You just need more blogs, so you keep having to resort to the Zelda. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's becoming a little repetitive. So, for the first time in the series' history, I will be analyzing a video of mine that no longer exists, and seeing exactly why it doesn't exist anymore. It's an interesting twist, and you shouldn't count on me doing this likely ever again, because I really want to acknowledge my previous videos as little as possible. And yeah, obviously I can't actually show you the video, because like I said, it doesn't exist anymore, but I will just be telling you what the video is about. But before we get to any of that, we need to talk about the downsides of Wind Waker, which there aren't that many, but it wouldn't be a Zelda Flaws blog if we didn't talk about Zelda Flaws, so let's talk about them. Wind Waker is actually my older sister's favorite game of all time, so it only makes sense I did this one eventually. And I mean, yeah, it's a good game. Not my fave, but it's pretty high up there. And that silly coworker of mine was once like, Zelda's alright, Zelda's alright. Which he must be one cool-ass dude if he thinks one of the most revolutionary franchises out there is just okay. Like, that is hard to comprehend, but that's besides the point. The first issue I have is honestly just a nitpick, but it's still a little cringe that they let it slide. But I watched the first, 30 parts of Nintendo Capri Sun's LP on Wind Waker. And just after he finished the first dungeon in the game and was on his way to go to the second, he encountered a giant octo. Now, normally, this is no sweat. These guys are pretty not hard to kill. You just launch bombs into their eyes until they're defeated. Problem is, you don't get bombs until later in the game, so he couldn't really do anything besides just wait to get sucked up by the octo. It's not like anything happens to you, you just wait until finally he launches you somewhere else and you lose like a quarter of a heart. There is a 1 in God knows how many chance of this actually happening, but why couldn't the game wait to allow these octos to spawn after you've unlocked the bomb? I'm not saying it's a big deal or anything, it's really not, but why? What's the point? It just wastes our time, really. Was it necessary? Man, doing 5 of these blogs really drains the amount of ideas you can come up with. That's not really a flaw, but it is still strange. However, I can't say this is my favorite Zelda game period because sailing in the oceans is nowhere near as exciting as, say, riding on horseback in Ocarina or Twilight Princess. It's mainly just water. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are islands to discover which are basically mountaintops because, Hyrule got flooded or something. Yeah, but in the oceans itself, there's even less to do than in the fields in Ocarina and Twilight Princess. And you've already heard me complain about those before. At least in those games, there's actual hills, slopes, mountains, actual terrain to explore, rather than just a layout that's mostly 2 shades of blue, one for water and one for sky. It sucks that in the original Wind Waker, you have to play the Wind Waker, the wand instrument thing. You have to use that every time you want to go in a different direction while sailing. That wasn't a problem before. I mean, yeah, I know that the previous Zeldas were land-based, and there was no need to change the wind whenever you were walking around the grass. But most of this world takes place in the ocean. And I get what they're going for here. It's a new type of Zelda for a new generation of consoles. They wanted to do something different and have the water play a big role in the game. Just like later on the Wii, we had Skyward Sword, which was a sky-based Zelda game. So now we have games in this franchise that are land-based, water-based, and air-based. Solid liquid gas. See, I'm not gonna hate on this game just because there's a lot of water. I might not like the ocean in real life, but it's a freaking video game. And honestly, the ocean isn't that bad, I just don't want to live that close to the ocean, but that's besides the point. If you happen to have a Wii U with the HD re-release of Wind Waker, it kind of makes the original GameCube version a bit obsolete, because after you unlock the speed sail, or whatever the heck it's called, you don't really have to use the Wind Waker anymore, kind of defeating the purpose of the title of the game. But it's still a very, very convenient tool. It makes you go like, I don't know, twice as fast, or at least faster than the regular sail, and the wind automatically changes to that direction you're facing when you turn it on. So why couldn't it have been like that in the OG? Good question. I'm not complaining all that much about it, it's just a tad bit tedious if you're trying to go to multiple islands at once, you know what I mean? So yeah, we got the main problem out of the way here. There's probably a few tiny nitpicks here and there that I don't know about because I've only beaten the game once, and that was with help from the internet. I'll go ahead and mention a cool detail that this game has, but I believe it began with a link to the past. You Zelda lovers should know about cuckoos and how abusing them enough times gets all of them to attack you like a pack of wolves or something. Chickens don't fight like packs in real life, so that's what makes it funny. This has been a thing before and since Wind Waker. Like, I'm pretty sure Echoes of Wisdom, the one that came out just a few months ago, I'm pretty sure that has it too. I mean, I don't know, I haven't played it, but I don't see why it wouldn't have it. I mean, why would Nintendo just stop keeping this joke going? However, Wind Waker doesn't have chickens, at least not that I remember. And I'm not talking about bird people, I'm talking about actual chickens that, you know, don't talk and crap like that. But you know what they do have though? Pigs. And basically, they will operate in the same manner as chickens would in other Zelda games. Harass a pig for long enough and all of them will come attack you. It's hella funny, man, if you're looking to get damaged a bit. Why would a pig care if another pig is getting attacked? They're not wolves, but that's what makes it funny. I mean, hell, pigs would just eat bacon if you handed it to them, okay? They don't give a crap. Alright, well, that's about enough with that, but we still need to get on with the thing I was going to mention earlier about the video I used to have hosted on this channel. Basically, I was a little upset that after you beat the record of, I think, 20 rupees in that envelope minigame on Dragon Roost, you stop obtaining rubies for every subsequent playthrough of said minigame. That's all I had to complain about in that video. What I didn't realize is there's this thing called damn YouTube, and you can look up rupee grinding methods in Wind Waker. There's loads of other ways to get money. Some of them are even faster than the envelope minigame. I mean, hell, just go out, cut some grass, you'll find rupees. If only grass gave me money in real life, that'd be kick-arse. So yeah, struggling to get money in Wind Waker, or for that matter, any Zelda game really, cut the grass. Go back inside, come out, rinse and repeat. Also, you can break pots to get money that way. It's stuff that would normally get you to lose money in real life, get you to gain money in the game. Alright, well that about wraps it up for the 21st and final blog of 2024. This year's already over, I swear time will not slow down. That Christmas sing-along should still be a thing afterwards, but other than that, this year's a wrap. Another solid 12 months of Kale-Idle-Scope. And like I mentioned earlier, the notes for these data flaws are becoming harder and harder with each new installment, so could be for the better that we count on this being the last one. Not positive. If I could come up with a good idea to have it return in the future, I might. But, you know, this is number 5. So we gotta stop sometime, right? Right? But yeah, aside from that sing-along, I will see you guys in 2025. Get ready to have the disc format finally die off like I predicted it would in that year a long time ago. Hopefully. See you then.